Welcome here at MB&F booth at Baselworld 2014 to discover with Haris Yadiraroglu, Head of Communication, the novelty of this year.
Well, I have something to show you, but I cannot show you right here. I'm going to have to ask you to follow me into one of our rooms.
Okay, it's not a wearable thing then.
It's not a wristwatch.
Okay, so I follow you.
Let's go. What's going on? What is this thing? It's we call it the Starfleet Machine. What is the Starfleet Machine? It's this piece, this object, which is in fact a table clock. This shows you what's underneath. It's inspired by our love for science fiction. If you're a Star Trek geek, you probably recognize the shape of Deep Space Nine, those type of vessels. I'm showing it here underneath because, as you can see, the movement, which is manufactured by l'Épée 1839, l'Épée 1839, the last remaining high-end clock manufacturer in Switzerland, is absolutely beautiful. They do everything in-house. It's a beautiful work of art, but at the same time now it's a science fiction toy. And if I flip it over, you'll see what I mean. This shows you Starfleet Machine from the top now, where you have these domes giving you the hours and minutes, of course, the power reserve, and of course the regulator here in full view.
We can make a link, a very clear one, with the music machine you presented last year, for instance. So maybe it's another machine, it's another object. Can you say maybe more about the philosophy of this?
Sure, it's exactly in the same vein, you're right, as the music machine we did last year, in the sense that we go to these beautiful manufacturers, which many people don't know about. Rouge last year, many people discovered it thanks to the music machine. L'Épée 1839, we think it's a similar story. Many people don't know about these guys. They might not even consider that a table clock is an interesting item. But now with a new design, with a new concept, this Starfleet Machine, maybe they look at l'Épée and they look at table clocks with a different view, a different light. And that's part of the fun. It's a new friend that comes to the MB&F family.
And who designed actually this piece? Because it's very special. We can see elements from the other MB&F watches and the Star Trek 9 inspiration. But concretely, what were the inspiration?
Who did this? Yes, very good question. It's in fact the same designer who Max worked with for the music machine. This intern we had, he was in fact an ECAL graduate called Xin Wang, young ECAL graduate from the famous ECAL school in Switzerland. The first day he joined MB&F, this was 2.5 years ago now, for his 8 months of internship, we told him, Xin, we have good news and bad news. Good news is that you're going to work on a lot of stuff. Bad news is you're not going to touch a timepiece. You're not going to touch a wristwatch. And of course he was a bit surprised being at MB&F. The first project he worked on with Max, so the two of them together, was the music machine. The second project he worked on was this. So it's a mix of Max's inspirations, and you see the similarities with some of our pieces and so on, with the talent of Xin Wang.
And maybe some numbers in the end. So how many pieces? How much do I have to pay if I want this masterpiece on my desk?
Numbers are important too. 175 pieces. Why 175? Because l'Épée liked this piece so much that they decided to make it one of their 175th anniversary pieces. That's this year. So they'll be presenting it also in Basel right now. And the price is 28,000 Swiss francs plus tax, so 30,000 including taxes in Switzerland.